Hey, what's up guys? Ophelia coming at you with another comic review, and this time we're taking a look at Nightwing, The New Order. The 6-issue mini-series, kind of like Elseworld's Tale. I think it's an Elseworld's Tale. I'm not sure if it technically does count as an Elseworld's Tale, but it is set in an alternate timeline about a future where superpowered beings are actually a minority to basically an organization that has been designed to take them down. So obviously, given that Dick Grayson is our central character because this is a Nightwing story, the group that's trying to take out superheroes the superpowered beings does actually brand the Nightwing, the animated Nightwing logo. And you'll see it actually broadcast, shown throughout every single cover of this 6-issue miniseries. As well as that, we do have appearances from a multitude of different heroes that progress throughout the story. And yes, guys, there will be spoilers in this review, so please be aware of that. The story takes place a couple of years in the future, where we find Nightwing in a climactic battle with Superman of all reasons, which for me actually shocked me a lot, because we do know historically that Nightwing has a huge level of respect for Superman. In fact, Dick takes the name Nightwing because he has this respect, and that Nightwing is the name of a Kryptonian superhero. So being able to, or being forced to see Nightwing saying that he had no choice to take out Superman was a huge shock for me, and just a really, really good way to hook, a really good inciting incident to hook me into this story. This story also introduces us to Dick Grayson's son, Jake Grayson, and in this timeline we learn that Dick Grayson did have a child with Corey Anders, aka Starfire. So Starfire also does receive a redesign in this, and at one point in the story, at one point in the history of this universe, we learn that they did break up. The story gets into high gear once we learn that Jake actually does have superpowers. And the fact that he has superpowers instantly makes the rest of the government organization actually want to take him down and take him to do whatever they do to the superpowered people. This leads Dick to actually want to go and save his son. And it puts him at odds with the second-in-command, Catherine Kane, aka Batwoman, who is the daughter of whose father actually created the task force in the first place, and yet decided to put Dick in charge of it instead of Kate, which always added this level of conflict between the two characters, which is played out really well with Kate Kane, who's, again, a superhero. She's more of a darker superhero, but she's still a hero, being presented as the major villain of this piece, which is another nice story. You normally ends up stories like this, it's like Superman's the villain or something like that, but it's really nice to see a character that's not normally presented as a villain, as the villain. And in this story, of course, as all good villains are, all good villains think that most good villains believe that they are doing the right thing. And in this, she does believe she's doing the right thing. They do believe that if they get rid of all the superpowered people, it will be a lot safer for the non-superpowered people. And in this story, the superpowered people are really shat on, They have so much crap going for them. They are literally in hiding. In fact, the remaining members of the Titans, which we can see their redesigns here, actually have to kidnap Dick Grayson and take him to their super secret headquarters. Like, obviously, we know that the Titans used to live in a giant T. They ain't living in a giant T anymore. They are actually living underground in this resistance against this task force. They kidnap Dick because they're like, we need to talk, blah, blah, blah. We need to work out what's going on. And we get to find out that, yes, Corey and Dick did have their odds. Very early on in the story, we know that he has a child. We don't know who the mother is. And we know that once he has superpowers, because I assumed, he married Barbara. But no, once he learns he has superpowers, he obviously married Corey. And because that's one of his only main superpowered girlfriends. I'm sure he has a few now, but in this timeline, potentially he only had Corey. And we get to see these awesome redesigns of the Titans. And initially I thought this was actually Raven, but it is a White Lantern who's actually, she's either white or blue. I think she's a Blue Lantern? She might be a Blue Lantern, White Lantern, I can't remember, sorry. It's a bit hard to tell. I'm pretty sure she's a Blue Lantern. we get to see who's actually Lois Lane. So Lois Lane, I didn't know actually becomes a White Lantern. That might be something unique to this story, but because I don't read a lot of Superman stuff, I can't really comment on that too much. Only from the information I'm gathered here. So I'm just going to assume that that is unique to the storyline. We also get to see a nice kind of redesign of Victor Stone, aka Cyborg, who in this timeline never became a member of the Justice League. As well as that, we do have a really nice darker redesign of Wally's costume. So Wally's not wearing the yellow anymore. He has like literally he's a much darker red. And of course we do have a much more like Amazoness style design for Corey, to show that they've gotten rid of all the sexualization they used to have for her. And now she's like, I am the leader of the Titans now. I need to be strong. You left us, Dick. And that's what they do in their confrontation. They're like, you left us, Dick. I had to take charge. What did you expect me to do? And this leads to, obviously, eventually we lead to the story ends with a final climactic battle between the heroes and the task force. And there's so many other cool characters we get to see. Superman obviously makes another appearance. And this a really fun story for you guys to read. Reading this as a fan of Nightwing and seeing, Nightwing changed, I actually loved every minute of it. He still feels like the Nightwing that I love to read, and just in a slightly different scenario. And it's always good to see your favorite superheroes or your favorite characters in general in different scenarios to see how they would act. Carl Higgins proves once again that he is such a good writer when it comes to writing Nightwing. He's easily one of my two favorite writers to ever write Nightwing. In his solo stuff, I'm sorry, I can't. Marv Wolfman is amazing when he wrote him in Titans, but I feel like just solo work, Kyle Higgins just understands the character so well, and McCarthy's artwork just fits this style of this universe they've created so well that it just draws you in. This 6 issues, it's only 6 issues as well, and I feel like I want to learn more about this world that they happened. I want to know what else was affected. Was it just Gotham that was affected? Was it just Metropolis? Let's go into some of the other cities. Hopefully they're able to explore this more in the future, this little story, but I feel like it is very closed off. We do get to see a little bit of something cool at the end of the series, which I'm not really going to go into and spoil for you guys, because I do want you guys to go read this. Nightwing fans, if you haven't read this, you really need to go check it out, because it is a wild ride that I think you guys will love. And if you're looking for something different, it is still a superhero story, but it has these it feels very unique enough to sit that I think someone who doesn't potentially like superheroes could read. It does obviously beg that age-old question, what happens if we get rid of all the superhero people? And it sits on a nice level with White Knight as well, in the sense that White Knight the theme of White Knight obviously is, did Batman's emergence bring out all the crazy people, and did a similar way, to the superpowered people, bring out all the superpowered villains? And it's a nice contrast and nice question we get to explore throughout the series. And definitely, guys, please go check this book out. It's a lot of fun, fantastic read for 6 issues. And once again, guys, thank you so much for checking out my channel, checking out my review. Please feel free to like and subscribe. I am working on some more figure reviews for you guys. I am working on some more deck profiles and some more archetype analysis for you guys. And as for comic reviews, I do want to review some Venom stuff. So looking to review Venom Inc. Or Venomverse, please let me know in the comments which you guys would like me to review, or otherwise I'm happy to check out one of the other mini-series. I did just do my live stream for my 160 issues of Venom, if you guys want to check it out. Unfortunately, very limited with technology for that, so the camera angles were off because I was using my phone for that live stream. I might record it, but might re-record it, hopefully when I get the idea better, but I'm hoping to do another live stream as well once I get that working. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for checking out my video, and I will catch you for my next review.